Hello students, welcome to AIMS India online classes. This is chemistry session. In this, we are going to discuss about metals and non-metals. From this metals and non-metals chapter, in the previous sessions, we discussed about the metals, which elements are classified as metals and which are non-metals. Now, we are going to see the chemical properties of metals. What are the chemical properties of metals? We are going to see now. So how these metals react with different elements we are going to see. First, let us see the reaction of metals with oxygen. Metals react with oxygen to form metallic oxides. These metallic oxides are basic oxides because they react with water to form bases. Yes, when metals burn or react with oxygen, they form their respective oxides, which we call as metallic oxides. These metallic oxides, when dissolved into water or they react with water and form metallic hydroxides, which are basic in nature. So we can say metal oxides are basic in nature. Metal oxides, metal hydroxides, both are bases. So metals produces bases on reaction with water. For example, rusting of iron. So rusting of iron in the sense reaction of iron with atmospheric oxygen. So when iron reacts with oxygen, it forms iron oxide, which we commonly call as rust. So this rusting of iron is one of the oxidation of metals reaction. We can say metal reaction with oxygen. So formation of iron oxide is commonly called as rusting. See here the expression for this reaction. Iron plus oxygen gives iron oxide. Actually, this reaction of iron with oxygen occurs in the presence of moisture we call water. So when iron reacts with oxygen in the presence of water, it forms iron oxide. This iron oxide is called rust. So formation of iron oxide from iron in the presence of moisture is called rusting of iron. Okay. In this way, metals react with oxygen and form metal oxides. These metal oxides on dissolving into water form metal hydroxides. These metal oxides, metal hydroxides are bases, basic in nature. Another example, magnesium burns in air to form magnesium oxide. Yes, magnesium also, it burns in air, forms magnesium oxide. This burning of magnesium will be done with a dark dazzling white flame. Magnesium burns with a dazzling white flame and forms magnesium oxide. Magnesium reacts with water to form magnesium hydroxide. Yes, magnesium even reacts with water also to form magnesium hydroxide. This magnesium oxide and magnesium hydroxide both are bases. So here the equation given for both. Here magnesium is burning in the presence of oxygen, nothing but magnesium reacting with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. Magnesium oxide reacts with water, or when you dissolve this magnesium oxide formed into water, this reacts with water and forms magnesium hydroxide. Generally, these metallic oxides and hydroxides are basic in nature. Yes, we told here this magnesium oxide and magnesium hydroxide, these two are bases. Not only this, generally metals when react with oxygen they form metal oxides. These metal oxides are dissolving into water, they form metal hydroxides. These metal oxides, metal hydroxides both are basic in nature. These are bases. The reactivity of metals with oxygen differs. Yes, we told here metals react with oxygen and they form respective metal oxide. But the reactivity of every metal is not same. Some metals they react very faster and quick, and some metal they react very slowly. So the reaction of each metal with oxygen it differs from one metal to metal. That depends upon the nature of that metal. For example, some metals like sodium and potassium react so vigorously with air or oxygen that they catch fire when they are kept in open. Yes, they can react with oxygen very easily and vigorously also. They quickly burn immediately when they kept open. So these are highly reactive metals we call metals like sodium and potassium. Even they are kept outside, they can catch fire immediately and they burn vigorously. That is the reason why these metals like sodium and potassium, these are stored under water, because if they are kept outside, they can catch fire immediately. They react with the oxygen present in the atmospheric air and can catch fire immediately. They burn immediately. That is why these metals like highly reactive metals like sodium, potassium, lithium, these are stored underwater always. Whenever it is needed, they take some pieces of those metals and they are used in reactions. Otherwise, they are stored in water itself to avoid reacting with oxygen. See here, some sodium is kept outside, it is catching fire and burning there. The surface of magnesium, aluminum, zinc, lead, these elements are covered with a layer of their oxide, so that the oxidation will be stopped there itself. Say some metals like magnesium, aluminum, they form a thin layer of their respective oxide. So this layer will protect the remaining metal from rusting from the reaction with oxygen further. So in this way, these metals they react with the atmospheric oxygen and they form a thin layer of their respective oxide. Suppose aluminum, see here, it is reacting with atmospheric air or oxygen, forming aluminum oxide layer. This aluminum oxide layer, once if it is formed, it won't allow the aluminum to react with the oxygen further. So it protects the remaining aluminum from getting oxidized. Okay. Next, copper surface is coated with a thin layer of black copper oxide. Here, copper also in the same way. Copper oxide is formed on the surface of copper metal. So, this copper oxide formed will protect the copper from oxidation. It won't allow the remaining copper from the reaction of oxygen. So, if in that way, rusting will be stopped by the formation of this copper oxide. While iron does not burn when heated, iron fillings burn vigorously. Yes, iron as a metal, it cannot catch fire. But when it is taken in the iron filling, small pieces of iron, very thin fine pieces, they can catch fire easily. And gold, silver do not react with oxygen, as these metals are least reactive metals. We can say them noble metals, they won't react. So these metals do not react with oxygen even heating on heating also. So in this way, from metal to metal, the reactive nature with oxygen is being varied. Some metals they react vigorously. They react with oxygen and form their oxides. Some metals they react with the atmospheric oxygen and they form a thin layer of their respective oxide so that further oxidation will be stopped. Some metals like iron they won't react generally. When they are taking the small pieces form that we call iron fillings, they can catch fire and they burn. And some more metals like gold, silver and platinum, these metals are least reactive. They won't combine with oxygen, they won't react with oxygen. Yes, we are telling metals on reaction with oxygen, they form metal oxides. These metal oxides are basic in nature in generally, but there are some metal oxides which can show acidic properties also. Such metal oxides are called amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides means some metal oxides react with both acids and bases to form salt and water. Such metal oxides are called amphoteric oxides. To say simply, some metal oxides can behave like acids sometimes and even they behave like bases some other times. So Those metal oxides which can show the both basic and acidic properties are called as amphoteric oxides. For example, aluminium oxide, zinc oxide, these metal oxides, they can show both the acidic properties and basic properties. The property will be changed based upon the combining chemical with that. Suppose if you see aluminium oxide on reaction with hydrochloric acid, we know hydrochloric acid is one of the strong acids. So when these metal oxides react with the strong acids, they behave like base. So in this case, it acts as a base. Aluminium oxide acts as a base on reaction with hydrochloric acid and forms aluminium chloride and water. Salt and water are formed. The same aluminium oxide acid is shown here equation. Aluminium oxide reacting with acid forming salt and water. Here aluminium oxide acting as a base when react with the strong acids. The same aluminium oxide on reaction with the sodium hydroxide, sorry, here it is equation arrow mark. On reaction with sodium hydroxide, we know sodium hydroxide is one of the strong bases. So when these metal oxides react with the strong bases, they behave like acids. So in this case, aluminium oxide acts as an acid. So this is reacting with base sodium hydroxide and forming salt and water. Sodium aluminate and water are formed. So here aluminium oxide on reaction with the base behave like an acid and forming salt and water. The same aluminium oxide on reaction with the strong acid be reacting like an acid and base and forming salt and water. So the same component possessing both the characters like acid and base. Such substances are called amphoteric substances. So these are examples: aluminium oxide, zinc oxide. These are examples for the amphoteric substances. So these are called amphoteric oxides also. Okay. Amphoteric oxides means the oxides of metals which can possess the properties of both bases and acids. Next. So how these metals react with water? That is reaction with water. Let us see. Metals react with water to form their metal hydroxides. And sometimes oxides will be formed and they release along with the metal hydroxides and oxides hydrogen gas also. So some metals on reaction with the water they form metal hydroxides and some other metals on reaction with water they form respective oxides. Along with these two, hydrogen gas is also produced. For example, sodium on reaction with water forms sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Of course, as a certain amount of heat energy also will be released out because this sodium, as we told, these metals like sodium and potassium are highly reactive. They react very vigorously with water also. Immediately they form sodium hydroxide and they release hydrogen gas. This equation related to that. Sodium on reaction with water forms sodium hydroxide and releases hydrogen gas. In the same way, one more metal, calcium. Calcium also one of the more reactive metals. On reaction with water, it forms calcium hydroxide and releases hydrogen gas. This is the equation for that. Calcium on reaction with water forming calcium hydroxide and releasing out hydrogen gas. One more metal, magnesium. Magnesium on reaction with water forms magnesium hydroxide and releases hydrogen. Okay. So in this way, some metals on reaction with water, they are forming their respective hydroxides and releasing out hydrogen gas. Some metals are like aluminum, some little less reactive metals like aluminum. These metals on reaction with water, they form their respective oxides. Aluminium on reaction with water forms aluminium oxide and releases hydrogen gas. One more metal, iron also. Iron also slowly reacts with water and forms iron oxide. Slowly hydrogen gas will be released from that. But it is a very slow reaction, we know. Iron reacts with water, forms iron oxide. The reactivity of metals with water also differs. Yes, we told the reactivity of metals with oxygen, it changes from metal to metal. It differs from metal to metal based upon the reactivity or reactive nature of the metal. In the same way, the reaction of metals with water also, it differs from one to another. Some metals like sodium, potassium and calcium, which are highly reactive metals, they react with even cold water also. They burn immediately even when you throw a small piece of this metal into even cold water also. Some metals are there like magnesium, they react with hot water. They cannot react with the cold water. So if hot water is taken, then these metals react with them and they form respective metal hydroxides. Some metals are there like zinc and aluminium, some more or less reactive metals. These cannot react with even hot water also. They react with steam, which is having high temperature than hot water. So they react with the steam and they form respective oxides. Some metals are like lead, copper, silver and gold. These metals we know as these are least reactive metals. They do not react with water in any form. Okay, in this way, metals reactivity with water changes from one to another. Some metals, highly reactive metals, they can react even with cold water also. Some metals they react with the hot water. Some metals they cannot react with even water. They react in the presence of only steam with high temperature. And some more metals like silver, gold, copper, which are least reactive said to be, they do not react with water. Here, calcium and magnesium float on water as bubbles of hydrogen stick to their surface. Of course, when you take a small piece of this calcium or magnesium, even some metals like sodium, these also, when you throw them into water, even though they are metals, they float on the water while reacting because by the formation of hydrogen, they form a layer on it. Okay. Next, reaction with acids, reaction of metals with acids. Metals react with acids to form metallic salts and hydrogen gas. Yes, all the metals they react with the acids, they form metallic salts and they release hydrogen gas out. For example, zinc reacts with dilute hydrochloric acid to form zinc chloride and hydrogen. Yes, one of the metals zinc is taken. If zinc is dissolved into hydrochloric acid, this forms zinc chloride salt will be formed here and the hydrogen gas will be released out. Here they are doing some experiment to test the hydrogen gas also. When you bring a burning splinter in the presence of hydrogen gas, it burns the blue flame and puts off with a pop sound. That indicates the evolution of hydrogen gas. So what happens here? When metals react with acids, they form their metal salts and hydrogen gas. Metals replace metals. Yes. A more reactive metal replaces a less reactive metal from its salt solution. Yes. More reactive metals can replace less reactive metals from their salts or salt solution. Suppose a metal salt solution is taken. A more reactive metal, if it is dipped into that, more reactive metal displaces the metal from its salt, less reactive metal, so more reactive metal salt will be formed. For example, iron replaces copper from copper sulfate solution to form iron sulfate and copper. See here, suppose copper sulfate solution is taken in a test tube. We know copper sulfate is a blue colored salt. When it dissolves into water, it forms a blue color solution. If you dip an iron nail into this, so this iron reacts with copper sulfate and it displaces copper from it. It forms iron sulfate and the copper will be omitted out. This copper came out will deposit on the iron nail kept in the test tube. Then the color of the solution also will be changed to light green color because we know this iron sulfate is a green color substance. So if you take blue colored copper sulfate solution in a test tube and if you dip an iron nail into that, this iron reacts with the copper sulfate and forms iron sulfate. So that color of the solution changes to green color. In this way, more reactive metal iron replacing less reactive metal copper from its solution. This is the equation related to that. So initially we have taken copper sulfate, which is in blue color. To that iron is added. So this iron comes into the place of copper and replaces it. So that iron sulfate is formed, copper is deposited on the iron nail. This is called displacement reaction also. So here more reactive metal iron displacing less reactive metal copper. Magnesium replaces copper from copper sulfate solution to form magnesium sulfate and copper. One more example is given here. Yes, here more reactive metal magnesium also can replace copper from its solution. See equation also given, magnesium plus copper sulfate gives magnesium sulfate plus copper. One more equation, one more example for the replacement of metal. That is, zinc replaces copper from copper sulfate solution to form zinc sulfate and copper. So what are these all? More reactive metals, zinc, magnesium, and these all metals are iron. These are more reactive metals than copper. So when these metals react with the copper solution, they are replacing copper from their solution and they are forming their salt. Zinc salt is formed here. Copper is omitted out. So based upon this, an activity series is given. Which metal is more reactive, which is less reactive? To understand this order, a series is given for the metals which is called activity series of metals, which indicates the reactive nature of metals. Based on the reactivity of metals, they can be arranged in the decreasing order of their reactivity. The arranging of metals in the decreasing order of their reactivity is called activity series of metals. See here it is shown the activity series of metals in the decreasing order. See first element it is shown here, potassium. Potassium is more reactive element than sodium, calcium. These metals are called highly reactive metals. We told these metals they can react with even cold water also. Highly reactive metals. They can displace other metals from their solutions. And next this magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, they come under secondary reactive metals, which are there in before hydrogen. Secondary reactive metals. They are less reactive than these first three elements, but they are reactive. And those elements that get after hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, gold, these are least reactive. Out of these metals, silver, gold, and one more metal you can add here, platinum, these metals come under least reactive metals. These are also called noble metals. They cannot displace any other elements from their solutions, and even they cannot react with the chemicals also. That is why these are called noble metals. Okay, these are reactivity series of metals from highly reactive metal to least reactive metal. This is a decreasing order of reactivity of metals. Chemical properties of non-metals. So here let us see the chemical reactivity of these non-metals also. When they react with oxygen, non-metals react with oxygen to form non-metallic oxides. These non-metallic oxides are acidic oxides because they react with water and form acids. Yes, non-metals on reaction with oxygen, these also form their respective oxides. But these non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature because when these non-metallic oxides further reaction with water, they form acids. Whereas in the case of metals, we told metallic oxides are basic in nature because on reaction with water they are forming bases. Whereas non-metallic oxides they form acids on reaction with water. That is why we say non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. For example, sulfur bonds in air to form sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide reacts with water to form sulfurous acid. So what is happening? non-metal sulfur, finally it is forming an acid from its oxide sulfur dioxide. So you can say non-metallic oxide sulfur dioxide is an acidic oxide because it is forming an acid on reaction with water. Okay. See, it is the equation for sulfur burning in the presence of oxygen to form sulfur dioxide, or sulfur reacting with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide. This sulfur dioxide, on dissolving to water, form sulfurous acid. One of the acids is formed. So this non-metallic oxide, sulfur dioxide, is acidic in nature because it is forming an acid. Next, reaction with water. Non-metals do not react with water generally. Reaction with acids. Even with the acids also, non-metals they do not react because mostly these acids are made up of these non-metals only. So they do not react with acids. Some non-metals like sulfur react with concentrated nitric acid to form sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide and water. Very rarely, very few non-metals they react with acids. But mostly non-metals they do not react with acids. Very few like sulfur on reaction with concentrated nitric acid, it forms sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide and water. So here it is equation for that. Sulfur reacts with strong nitric acid and forming sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide along with water. But mostly they do not react with acids. Okay, that is about metals and non-metals chemical properties. So how do they react with oxygen, water and acids we have seen. Now let us have some questions on the same concepts. Let us assess ourselves, try to answer these questions. What is the product when sulfur reacts with oxygen? Yes, non-metals react with oxygen to form. See options: sulfuric acid, sulfur dioxide, sulfurous acid, hydrogen sulfide. What is formed when sulfur reacts or burns with oxygen? What is that? Yes, it forms sulfur dioxide. Not only sulfur, mostly all the metals and non-metals on burning in the presence of oxygen or on reaction with oxygen, they form their respective oxides. Sulfur forms sulfur dioxide. Next one. On burning, metals react with oxygen to produce. What do they produce metals on reaction with oxygen? Do they form metal oxides or metal chlorides, metal sulfates or metal hydroxides? What are being formed on metals reaction with oxygen? They form metal oxides. These metal oxides are basic in nature because these metal oxides on reaction with water they form respective metal hydroxides which are bases. So here metals on reaction with oxygen they form metal oxides. Metallic oxides are dash in nature. What is the nature of metal oxides we told now? Are they basic in nature, acidic or neutral, or either of these acidic or basic? What is the nature of metal oxide, children? Yes, metal oxides are basic in nature because these metal oxides on reaction with water they are forming respective metal hydroxides which are bases. Okay, metal oxides are basic in nature. Next one. Metals react with dilute acids to form. What do they form? Metals on reaction with acids, two products are formed. What are those? Let us see here given. Oxygen gas, nitrogen gas, hydrogen gas and carbon dioxide gas. Which gas is produced when metals react with acids? We told when metals react with acids, they form two components as products. One is metal salt and one more gas. The gas is hydrogen gas. So metals on reaction with dilute acids, they release metal salt and hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas is released out. This is correct answer. Okay, next one. Some statements are given here. Let us understand this. First one, see. Sodium and potassium are highly reactive metals, isn't it? Yes. These metals are like sodium, potassium, lithium. These are highly reactive metals. Potassium, rubidium, these metals. Highly reactive. Even they can react with oxygen present in the air if they kept outside in the open air. If you take a small piece of this sodium or potassium, if you get in the open air, within few minutes they catch fire and they burn immediately, vigorously. Because they are highly reactive, they can react with atmospheric air also immediately. That is why. Next, let us see the statement B. Sodium and potassium are stored underwater. Yes, that is the reason why these metals are stored under water. Is it correct? No. These metals are stored under kerosene. They react with water also. So these are not stored under water. These metals are stored under kerosene. They do not react with kerosene. So these metals like sodium, potassium, rubidium, they are stored under water. They are stored under kerosene and they are taken whenever they are needed. So sodium, potassium are highly reactive metals. That is why they are stored under kerosene, not under water. It is wrong. Kerosene. This is wrong. Let us see. Both statement A is true, statement B is false. Statement B is false, statement A is true. Both are true, both are false. What is the correct option, children? Yes. Sodium and potassium are highly reactive metals. This is the correct statement. Sodium and potassium are stored under kerosene, not under water. So this statement is wrong. Where it is now? Statement A is correct answer. First statement is correct, but the second one is wrong. So sodium and potassium are stored under kerosene because they are highly reactive metals. Okay, children. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and visit our website www.aimstoday.in for latest updates on the recorded videos. Thank you.